There's never been a better time to have SiriusXM. With over 140 channels in your vehicle, your all-access trial includes more than ever before to enjoy online, on your phone, or at home. Create your own ad-free personalized stations powered by Pandora. Hear ad-free extra channels and enjoy favorite shows with SiriusXM Video on Demand. What you love is on now.
Tonight, we've invited 5 of the most prominent brands in Powersports audio to educate us on the latest offerings in the segment. From application-specific kits to soundbars and more, we discuss everything you need to know about the Powersports category this season. CMA Live, presented by SiriusXM, the Powersports audio episode starts now. Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to another edition of CMA Live, presented by SiriusXM. I'm your host, Ben Wu. And tonight, it's all about a theme that's really come up in the ranks in the last couple of years, and that is, of course, Powersports audio. So what is Powersports audio? Well, it means a lot of different things to different people, but mostly we're talking about side-by-sides, UTVs, ATVs, and in some cases, even golf carts. Another interesting thing to note is a lot of the products, other than the application-specific kits, also do cross over to perhaps categories like marine. So it'll be interesting to see what the brands have to present tonight. Speaking of brands, we've got 5 really great brands on with us. If you're tuning in for the first time, this platform really helps you understand what the latest offerings are in this particular segment and really give you a glimpse of some of the best offering from some of the best brands in the business. So, having that said, let's get the show underway with our very first guest tonight. He is the Senior Digital Strategist for Rockford Fosgate, and he is, of course, his name, Eric Russell.
Hey, Ben, great to be on with you tonight.
Oh, so happy to have you on again, Eric. We've had some great sessions during Marine where we talked about Marine, but now tonight we're shifting gears because the Powersports sessions start tomorrow. And tonight you're our very first guest to give us a little bit of a taste of what Rockford Fosgate and Powersports have going on, because I've seen some press releases come through. There's a lot of stuff going on. So first and foremost, what is new and exciting in the category for Rockford Fosgate?
Well, we couldn't be at a better time. We just announced yesterday brand new motorsport kits for 2018 and newer Polaris Ranger XP1000. We released 7 new models for the lineup. So we did release a stage 1. It was an all-in-one self-contained unit for Ranger that launched in fall of 2021. And yesterday we announced 7 more to the lineup. So we started off with the stage 2. It's a front and rear M0 system. At that price point, that's kind of unheard of. We got a lot of feedback from customers that actually wanted to have 4 speakers, not just 2. So we started with an M0 kit that allowed you to get front and rear. We step up to the stage 3 that adds an 800-watt amplifier, front and subwoofer M1 series. We jump up to the stage 4, which gives you front and rear and a subwoofer with a 1,500 watts. We're quickly jumping up in amplifier power. And then we jump up to the stage 5, which is a PMX3 source unit that allows for a backup camera to be added on, front speakers and subwoofer, which are the M2 series. Now that comes with interchangeable grills, so you can do a stainless steel or a sport grill. And then of course we've got the loudest system that we've ever produced, our stage 6, which is front and rear sub, and it is just unbelievable. Now the 5 and the 6 are available also for ride command. So if you don't want to use a PMX source unit like the ones I've got behind me, you can use the ride command and maintain your mapping system and connection with your buddies and still get a great audio system in your Ranger.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's always nice to have an OEM integration kind of feature built into there to give you options for connectivity, rather. And I find it really interesting because, you know, in the beginning, a lot of the brands came up with kits for like Razor and the sportier type UTVs. But now, the Ranger model is a little bit more, I guess, hybrid, utilitarian, but also sporty. So it's great to see that, brands such as yourselves are catering to that market as well and coming up with such a deep offering, as far as stages is concerned for the consumer. What are some of I know you mentioned some. Can you talk a little bit about key features and benefits that you're really proud of when it comes to Rockford Fosgate products in this category?
Well, one of the things that we get consistently when we're at events and customers are jumping in and out of the show vehicles, the fit and finish, they always compliment us on. So they always are complimenting about how the OEM panel and the aftermarket pod really seem to integrate into the vehicle. So it's a part of it and not just an accessory bolt-on. Now that's just the aesthetics of it. When we're talking about the installation, from our dealers, we get a lot of great feedback that our systems are plug and play. So this is a dash kit from a Polaris RZR, and it's very specifically molded. You just plug it into the back of our PMX source unit. You've got connections for your turn on, for your amplifier, for connections to the PMX radio. And then of course you've got factory Polaris connectors on the harness itself. So it is literally a plug and play system. You don't have to crimp, you don't have to solder. It's all ready to go right out of the box.
The reason why installers do appreciate those little details that Rockford builds into their product. Okay, let's talk about top sellers. I don't have you on for an hour, so we got to kind of, chisel at the top most important, pillars tonight. What are some of the top sellers that are really doing well for Rockford in the power sports category?
Well, when we came out with the Stage 5, that was our top seller. And then when we came out with the Stage 6, that is now our top seller. So for Can-Am X3, Stage 4, 5, and 6 are the most popular for consumers. For Polaris RZR, it's the Stage 4, 5, 6 as well. And then for Polaris RZR with Ride Command, Stage 5 and 6 are really the go-to kits. And we're really hoping that the Polaris Ranger, now that it matches the full lineup that the RZR and Can-Am offer, we really believe that the Ranger is going to be a solid performer in that category.
Awesome. So it's all about the kits. The kits is like go-to when it comes to the Rockford line of items, for sure.
Right, and it allows you to be modular. So as you buy a kit, you can add additional components as necessary.
And that's really, really clutch when it comes to the, the sales side of things. When you're talking with the customer, you can really build them up. You can show them the dream and tell them that you can start at the ground floor, and we can hold your hand and take you there as your budget permits, which is a really nice feature. So very, very cool. Let's talk about the brand. Rockford, right? You guys don't do anything half, right? Everything is about purpose built, all in. So what are some of the examples that could help demonstrate Rockford's commitment to this category?
Well, don't take my word for it. I ask any dealer that's getting into the power sports business, do a Google search on Rockford Fosgate. Do a Google search for Rockford Fosgate underrated amplifiers, and you're going to get plenty of evidence from end users that talk about how much power their amplifier or their system provides more than what we spec'd on the box. So over exceeding that expectation is a great consumer experience. And Rockford's not new to this category. We're on our third generation on the RZR and the Can-Am kit. So yeah, building on stage on this first generation and then the second generation and now the third color optics that you're seeing right behind me. We've really learned a lot about the category, and it really comes down to the dealer feedback. We have received great ideas and performance enhancements for the product line, and we build it into the next generation. And of course, the peak of what we're talking about is the customer experience. And the reason why that customer experience it resonates so well is that we purpose build the product for the application. All these RZR kits and UTV Can-Am kits behind me, they are specifically frequency response tuned for open air environments. Like in a vehicle, you have a windshield, you have dashes, you have door panels. Those are very reflective of high frequency sounds, but when you're in a more open environment, you typically don't have windshields or side driver's glass. You don't have those reflectivities. So we purposely frequency response tune it so that you can actually hear all of your audio. So you get a great experience in your car with car audio product, but specifically with power sports, you're going to get a great experience as well.
So don't think for a second that they're tuned the same way. They're very much tuned for the purpose that they are being engineered and built for. And it's not just a car audio product, slapped with the Powersports logo on it, for example, right? So
If
that's
there's
really key.
that we can talk about, that is one thing that we do not do is repurpose car audio products and paint them white to be a Marinized product. It is specifically built for the application.
Very, very cool. Okay. Thank you for the updates. Great product launch with the Ranger line of products. Some really key, unique selling points that elevate your brand. Now, pretend I'm a dealer and I'm watching this for the first time. I want your pro advice because you're an expert in this field, Eric. What recommendations do you have for me to get started on the right foot to service this Powersport customer?
Sure. Well, if you're new to the industry, I would say take a look at your market. Are you seeing more performance vehicles out there, or are you seeing more utilities? Are you seeing Can-Am X3s, Polaris Racers, or Polaris Generals, Polaris Rangers, things of that nature? So you've got two different markets there. I grew up in Gilbert, Arizona, and I grew up on farmland. So we see a lot of Rangers out in fields as teenagers are working the fields for dad and mom. So definitely qualify the market that you're in, because that will help you with the inventory that you're going to carry at the store, and whether you're going to develop a category for performance or a category for utility. So you can have both, but what I would say, no matter what, is invest in the category, build a demo vehicle. And that is probably the one thing that we hear on our YouTube videos for installation. They want to know what it sounds like. Well, if we put a commercial track out there, YouTube's going to take it down. And we always tell them, do not judge a high performance audio system on your laptop that has $5 speakers. Go to your local authorized Rockford Fosgate dealer and experience the high performance audios that you're going to get in these kits.
Oh, great answer. Thank you for that advice. Listen, guys, if you're tuned in and you're interested in some more Rockford product, of course, in the States, contact Rockford. If you're in Canada, make sure you reach out to their Canadian distributor, who is Automobility, and there are their digits right there. Eric, I can't thank you enough for joining us tonight and sharing your knowledge with us in the Powersports category. Again, congratulations on the release on that Ranger kit, and give everybody my best over at Rockford Fosgate.
We'll see you next time, Ben.
Have a good one. So we've got a part of the story, and a really strong one at that. Rockford, of course, no slouch in this category, certainly pioneering different products, especially in the multi-stage application-specific kit category. No doubt they have quite the catalog in that. But when we move on to our next guest tonight and the next brand that we represent, heavyweight in any category. We had them on for Marine. We're happy to have them on again for Powersports. At this time, we'd love to welcome back Joe Gross, who's, well, you know what? I went and found the guy with the longest title in the entire building, Director of Sales and Product Line, Automotive, OEM, and Powersports at Kicker. Did I win? Did I get the guy with the longest title, or did I get a prize for that?
I don't know, but sounds good to me.
It
doing great.
Guys with long titles mean they take care of a lot of things. They have a wealth of knowledge, so we can't be happier than having you with us tonight, Joe.
I'm very happy to be here, and thank you for having us.
Kicker Audio, you guys do it big, demonstrated extremely and presented extremely well in the Marine category. I'm excited to see what you have to say tonight when it comes to Powersports, Joe. So let's start right at the gate with the cool, fun stuff. What's new and exciting in the Powersports category for Kicker?
Well, as you know, last year we introduced some rather small opportunities to hang on the cages of side-by-sides or just about anywhere you want to go. And these things are insane. They handle huge amounts of power that can be heard from, light years away. But we got a lot of feedback and said that, maybe we need to offer something that's a little smaller. We have a 6-inch two-way that's a phenomenal Marine speaker that also works in the Powersports space, but it's very smooth and very clean. In Powersports, we not only tune that speaker for open air to get over the noises and everything else, but one of the things that we're very proud of is that we also optimize not only phenomenal sound, but higher sensitivity on the speaker. We all know the grassroots. Double your power, to get 3 dB, you have to double your power. 3 dB is just a noticeable difference. So while we have a speaker like this that works in a 6-inch can and an 8-inch that sounds really well, that's in the 92 dB sensitivity range. The KMXL line with the horn-driven drivers are at around 100 dB sensitivity. So with that being said, we're here to show you, the first people to see them ever.
Oh, here we go.
The new 6.5-inch KMXL high output, horn-loaded, neodymium, single input, two-way crossover, biampable, with what everybody wants is the lights where you can run the RGB. But that all being said, and the fact that this fits into our can and you can put 4 of these in, say, the space of the 2 big monsters, well, we also had to keep the other part of what we call Powersports in our category in line. So motorcycles, and I know this is Powersports, but people talk about, side-by-sides. Well, in our idea of Powersports, it's side-by-sides, it's golf carts, it's lawnmowers, it's whatever somebody wants to do, and the vehicles that take them there. One thing that I haven't heard mentioned from a lot of people, and I remind them carefully, one of the fastest growing segments in RV is toy haulers.
Toy haulers.
People buy these toy haulers to put their side-by-sides in, their motorcycles in, their e-bikes and everything else in to take them to go have fun with their families. Well, for that reason, we also always keep in mind the motorcycle, the RV side of things and all. So for the marine side, the smooth, clean, and the slide outs with the KMC head units, that all works great. But this same speaker in a can is great, but it wouldn't work well on a motorcycle. So hence the transformer. You can take this outside ring off, unscrew the horn. This is the horn that comes out. It's supplied with a shorter horn for near field, so that this speaker also fits in the fairing of a Harley Davidson or in the Harley lowers. So dual application, same speaker, 100 dB sensitivity, biampable, 150 watts RMS, and we recommend the lighted not be in the fairing because we don't want to blind the drivers at nighttime. So really, really proud of this speaker. So we say, okay, that's really cool, but if you remember the last time I was on here, we talked about these really cool lids we did. Okay, really well engineered, laser cut steel back brace to hold the 2 sides of the lid together, top mounted because of the weight and the whole 9 yards. And that was a really cool speaker in there, but people said, man, that thing is really over engineered.
Which is typical
the speaker,
from Kicker.
with the speaker that you're putting in there. Well, what I'm here to show you tonight
more new.
is the new 6x9. This 6x9 can be mounted in any flat surface. Again, giant Neo motor, 2-way design, single motor design, biampable and lighted. But it is also designed to drop right in from the top side of our lid. And yes, that laser cut metal back brace that holds that lid together nice and tight, this is the monster it was waiting for. Again, 150 watts RMS, amazing output. We use a treatment on the top of this to keep water directly out of the horn, 100% environmentally friendly, and again, super high sensitivity. And I talk about the sensitivity, frequency response is greatly important. It's got to sound good. But if you've got to throw 1,000 watts at it to make it get loud, but if we can raise the sensitivity of a speaker from, say, a typical 88, 89, 90 to 93, 96, or 100, it's almost like doubling your power on your amplifier without doubling your power.
It's like cheating.
Because you get, call it cheating. I call it thought through full design. Tuned for the market, tuned for the space, great sound quality, because we go back to that power. Power has never been an answer to any solution. We all remember the early days of car audio. My very first Mazda B2200, that thing had a whopping 55 amp alternator. Well, I put 4,000 watts in the bed of that truck in 1986. Oh my God, that was a long time ago. 4,000 watts, 55 amp alternator. Well, we all know what happened there. Well, Powersports is almost like going back to the infancy of car audio, only with the car side. We had really cool cars. We started building these things, putting giant speakers in, but the electrical systems weren't there. Well, in a side-by-side or a motorcycle, either one has typically a stator charging system that is about 35 amps. So batteries are your friend. Well, we talk about that other segment we call Powersports in the RV or toy hauler market. That is a 12-volt chassis, but you think of it as home audio? Well, kinda, except the speakers can go on the outside. Our TB tubes are great because they can go from the inside to the outside. They're designed for the proper environment. They're unbelievably efficient. And our, again, KMC head unit, KMC4, KMC5, dual zone capability, so you could do inside with your, create a home theater type environment, plus your outside sound in the garage, power bars. There's so many different applications, and it's all tied back to that same type of customer. I heard it mentioned, understand your market. Mm-hmm. How do you get a dealer into this space? Well, understanding the market. Is it a farmland? Is it the desert? Is it Louisiana down in the swampland? And how many of these guys are dragging their side-by-sides, their motorcycles, to the desert, to the swamp, or to Strategist, for example, loading up 4 bikes in the back of the toy hauler and rolling? Every one of those customers are in that same demographic, same toys, different space. So demo is important. Understanding your technical specifications, frequency response. Is it waterproof? How to explain IP66, 67, 68 in a way that the consumer can understand that benefit. Understand that not everybody needs an 11-inch speaker that, you know, hang 4 of these off the back of your Razor. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, that would be cool.
But maybe they just need a pair of these in their slide out and their KMC2 just to add tunes to their entry-level RV.
Right.
It could be the 44-foot monster full body paint toy hauler that came with 3 air conditioners, 3 TVs, has its own, you know, solar system that you can live off the grid for 4 years on. Okay, understand your customer. So basics, whether it be side-by-side, motorcycle lids, bearings, cans, big cans, little cans, need for subwoofers that are designed for the environment. We build a product line that is designed for our dealers to be able to build a system for their individual consumer. Now you talk about the turnkey thing, the OE thing. We've partnered with a company in the last 2 years, Hoppy Motorsports. We do the audio design for them. They do the most amazing manufacturing of the roof systems or their audio minis, bracketries, and the whole 9 yards. And they have over 29 different models that are 100% kicker equipped, kicker powered. And we work with their engineers hand in hand, sometimes weekly, for all the new models coming out. They have systems that have dual 10s, 8 6.5s, 800 watts RMS of power, expandable, plus an integrated front light bar, rear light bar, and interior lights. It takes longer to uncrate the roof than it does to actually install it.
Joe, I have a question that's been burning, and I have to go back to that new speaker that you showed there. Did you call it a transformer speaker?
The KMXL.
The KMXL. So if I understood you right, that is one SKU that the dealer would have to have installed. And it comes with, does it come with both adapters, or is that a separate piece?
The 6.5 will come with both gray and marine white grills in the box. It will come with the large throated horn ready to install into a can. It will also come with the small throated horn in the box where you can literally unscrew the big one. And to take it from a can load to a motorcycle mount, remove that, drop it into here and screw it down, remove the LED lights that we recommend, and it's now ready to install a 150 watt RMS speaker into a fairing or our front lowers.
So my suspicion was right. My suspicion was right. That is a really nice piece to have for a dealer. It's one item and it just multi-purpose. It's like a Swiss Army knife of like pro drivers, pretty much. High efficiency. every scenario you can think of.
That is a great analogy.
So there you go. Dude, you've answered all my questions. Literally I don't know what else I can possibly ask you other than when is that stuff available? I know you just launched it here. What is the timeline of some of this stuff?
Well, normally we don't show product until it's ready. I had to get permission from my VP that I report to, and he says, okay. But these are actually production samples. I'm completing some testing next week. We've got a couple of other samples out. We're beating these things to death before we release MP. So I'm guessing probably Q3. Early Q4, they may surprise us and get here early because we're all suffering the issues of, it used to take 21 days across the ocean. Now it's, sure, your guess is
it might
as
take
good
21
as mine.
days, but how long is it sitting at the dock for? That's the other X factor. But anyhow.
Exactly.
Everybody's in, for lack of a better term, in the same boat when it comes to that stuff. Hey, Joe, thank you so much for joining us tonight. If you're into kicker stuff, if you're in Canada, make sure you check out or connect with their Canadian distributor. It's called their GemSend. Their information is right there. If not, get a hold of Kicker for this brand new line of speakers, which I think pretty game changing. Very, very innovative. Kudos and high five to the Kicker design team for making that happen. Joe, thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Thank you for having us.
Take care now. Very, very cool stuff. Very cool stuff. Man, if you're not into power sports, this is the right time. Right now is the right time because there's some exciting products coming into the market in the very near future, if not right now, from all these brands. So let's get on to the next one. Big brand again, legendary brand, MTX, also from Arizona. Who do we got? We've got none other than their sales and marketing director, Mr. Rico Felice, joining us this evening.
Hey, how's it going, Ben?
How you doing, you handsome young man?
Yeah, don't go that far. You're going to break the camera.
I got to say, clean shaven and looking good, sir. Thank you for joining us this evening. We're talking about getting dirty in the mud type vehicles, off-road type stuff, but also, golf carts, as Joe was mentioning, toy haulers. I mean, it's kind of a broad category, but it's fun no matter how we look at it. So as far as MTX is concerned, what can you update us on?
Well, this year is going to be, I hope, a big year for us. We're going to kind of kick off the year with the release of our brand new Pro XP plug-and-play audio system. So I know we've got a session on Friday that we're going to get a little more deeper into that. But this is going to be I think it's going to be a big winner for us. We put a lot of time and effort into the design of the product. We've taken a lot of time to test and tune and make sure it's 100% ready to go. And we're out demoing. We had our vehicle. You probably have seen the big orange rig outfitted with it. So we were out at the Mud Nationals event just last week, basically trying to get the thing dirty and put it through some testing, if you will. And it was very well received and held up beautifully. So,
just as a sidebar, how many toys is there behind you in that other room now? I've lost count.
As far as side-by-sides?
Yep.
We have got probably a half a dozen or so side-by-sides, along with any number of other vehicles just kind of hanging around, so to speak.
Wonder what they're doing there. Anyhow, we'll talk about that another day. Let's talk a little about MTX and what do you feel? I want to hear from you. You work with the product. You've installed it in many different applications now. You've had to play with it. You've got to talk to dealers and end users about it. So what are some of the key features or benefits that you're most proud of?
Oh, absolutely. I think like a lot of the brands, like similar to us, one of the things that we always strive to do is we try to engineer the kit to make it easy, not just for the installer at the dealer level, but also the end user. One of the things is we've got a lot of guys out there that are buying these machines and they want to be able to wrench on it themselves. They want to feel some sense of accomplishment and, not in a sense turned off by, like newer cars today. They're so technologically advanced. Nobody wants to work on them. But the side-by-sides, again, it's kind of like harkens back to the early days of car audio. Cars are simple. Well, the UTVs are simple. But we try to make our kits as installer-friendly as possible. Plug and play, fit and finish, designed for the vehicle. We will tune the system just pretty much everybody else. We spend the time to tune the system to make sure that not only does it sound good sitting still, but it sounds good whether you're rolling at 5 miles an hour at a mud event or you're cruising at 50 miles an hour across the dunes. And then obviously beyond that, we've got the versatility of all the products that we offer. It's not just kits for us, it's sound bars, it's universal audio kits. So we really are striving to present a dealer a lot of options to be able to service their customers and basically to be able to fulfill the desires and needs of the customers based on what they're looking for.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So what are they looking for? Look back at the last year, or maybe you can forecast a little bit for us, Rico. What are the hot or top sellers right now in the lineup?
Obviously, we're doing very well with the kits that we've got. We've got our Can-Am X3 kits out, obviously the Razor kits, the new Pro XP systems have been well received on pre-orders already. So we've got a lot of people excited to get those into the marketplace and install them. Another category is universal audio and sound bars. From a dealer standpoint, the kits are great because they present an all-in-one solution, but they're, again, vehicle specific. If you've got the guys that have the Yamaha, the Hondas, all the different variety of non-mainstream vehicles out there, one of the things that you need to be able to offer those customers is an audio solution. And that's where our sound bars, whether they're overhead or universal, as well as our universal audio kits, come into play. Because now you can, as a dealer, develop a system for somebody who may have a Honda Pioneer, for example, that there isn't a kit specifically for it, but they want to put audio on it. So now you can design a system for that person, for that vehicle, that's going to give the customer something what they want, and it's not going to break the bank, and it's fairly easy to install.
And let's be clear, there are thousands of those other brand vehicles that aren't part of the main four, let's call it, that have kits developed. Thousands. So the opportunities are absolutely there. You're absolutely right. Let's talk about from a brand identity perspective, or brand DNA, let's say. How do you feel MTX is addressing the needs of the modern power sport audio enthusiast?
One of the things that we're trying to do is obviously listen to our dealers and listen to the market, kind of taking a look at what's hot on the market, just like anybody else. But at the same time, we're also trying to engineer some new things that are coming down the pipe that are going to better address some of the things that we see, some of the challenges that we see as far as the equipment goes, whatever you're putting in the vehicle, the environment it's got to live in. So I think at this point, we're doing very well with what we have on the market, but I think we're going to be in a much better position, much stronger with some of the things that are in the pipeline currently. So.
Very, very cool. Well, obviously, make sure we connect when that happens, because we want to be there when you can make any big announcements in any direction you go. Talk to me like I'm a noob dealer. I'm like, I've been putting aside this power sport thing for the last 2-3 years, but now it's like, darn it, I'm starting to see them. People are starting to ask for them. I feel like I'm not really responding to the demand properly. Time for me to take this seriously. What advice do you have for me that can add to the great advice that we've had so far?
Obviously what's been said so far is huge and great advice, but I would say, look at the product mixes that the different manufacturers offer. Again, one of the things that we pride ourselves is a solution-based offering, not just restricting ourselves to vehicle-specific kits. We have a large variety of products, and I think that's one of our strong points in that we can go into a dealer, and if they've got some guys that are interested in audio, but they don't really have, the top four, then absolutely we have a solution for them, and we have plug and play solutions, or we have upgrade solutions that our guys can go in and very easily get into that market with a selection of products that would appeal to a wide variety of different types of customers. And, certainly not limited to just the side-by-side market. As you keep mentioning, golf carts are big, any of the other go-karts, golf carts, anything else that's out there that basically has four wheels, we have solutions for. So,
and sometimes more than four, because if we're talking toy haulers and whatnot. I mean, I kind of categorize it now that you bring it up like that, Rico. If it's not a bike and not a truck/car, it's or a boat, let's call it. Those are your three. Then pretty much everything else fits in this category, does it not?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, you've got, if it's got wheels on it and it's not within those other three categories, I mean, it really kind of falls in that motorsports or toy category. So, yeah, I mean, we've got.
I don't know any dealer that doesn't have, at the very bare minimum, some sound bars in stock at this point, right? I mean, so many applications for that.
No, absolutely. And then it's like, the big thing from our end is, okay, you've installed a sound bar for a customer, but then what? What if they want more? What options do you have to go beyond just a sound bar? Like I said, that's where we come in and offer expansion opportunities and make it very easy from a dealer to upsell that customer or expand a customer system. So, that's one of the things that we're striving to do is provide that dealer solutions that they may not realize that they need.
Oh, very sound advice. Thank you so much, Rico. Hey, if you're interested in some MTX product and you happen to be in the Canadian side of the world, make sure you connect with their Canadian distributor, which is Trends Electronics. Otherwise, get a hold of MTX, and I'm sure they can hook you up with the right distribution channels. Rico, looking forward to our session later on this week where we dig deeper into that brand new kit you just mentioned. So looking forward to that. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for the time. See you soon.
Take care now. All right, let's move on to another brand that so many people love. They have product in a lot of different categories, and they have a little bit of a reputation. And I'm gonna kind of introduce this brand because the reputation is real. Like, these guys, their stuff plays loud, and everybody talks about how loud it is and it's how it's priced right. So I had to have them on the show. Of course, we're talking about DB Drive, and they have a big selection when it comes to UTV Powersports and marine and all that. But I'm not going to tell you all about it. I'm going to get my guest to tell you all about it. He's the international sales manager. His name is Susano Garza Jr.
Hey, how's it going, Ben?
What's going on, Junior? Good to see you again.
Good to see you too.
So you've heard all these guys talk, and I know you've been chomping at a bit to get your turn to throw your hat in the ring and let everybody know about the great products you have. So let's get out of the gate. What is hot? What is new? What's exciting over in the DB camp for Powersports?
Well, for Powersports, what we got basically going on right now is we got a lot of our WDX Moto line, which is something that's been really, really big for us. Everybody uses them in motorcycles. They use them in boats. They use them from anything that has wheels, basically. Even in your vehicles now, a lot of these guys are putting them in vehicles because they like to have those doors open, whatnot. So what we ended up doing is the best way for us that we found to design something that's going to work great for all these applications is since we were real big in the pro audio market, we decided, well, what sounds better in open space than something pro audio? So we started looking at how the pro audio sound, we can fit that into our power sports, our motorcycles, everything like that. So our initial, launch into this, we started off looking at pro audio and how to get it to be marine grade, how to make it work with, certain tweeters. Basically everything that we got in there, we basically meshed it up and made something that sounds great out in the open, sounds great in a vehicle, sounds great on a boat. And that's mainly how we launched ourselves into the power sports, section of car audio and stuff.
Those are probably some of the most well-known speaker sets, especially when it comes in pro and in motorcycle application. And doesn't surprise me at all that you would choose that as one of your go-to kind of most popular products that you have going on in your line right now. Talk to us a little bit about some of the key features and benefits that make the DB Drive line of products within this power sports category unique in this segment.
Well, you mentioned it earlier when we started off. What we are geared to do and what we do in all of our audio lines is we wanted something that not only sounds loud, we wanted something with the clarity, we wanted something that lasts. And of course, like you said, it's budget friendly for all those guys that want to do something. We have everything from your standard modal speakers all the way up to your expert speakers, which are all over the place. Everybody's giving them great reviews. They sound great. We have them available in, treated paper. We have them available in carbon fiber. We have compressed horns. We have some with, with your standard oversized tweeters. We have everything and anything that you can basically use in a UTV, side by side, anything that you want to put it on.
So, having such a wide range, I'm going to give you a tough question here. I've asked everybody the same thing. If you had to pick 2 or 3 of the top sellers that dealers have really been doing well with, what would those items be?
Okay, our top sellers right now that everybody loves, and the reason for it is kind of like everybody else, the versatility on them is our WDX, the Moto CDs, which has a compression driver built in. Everybody loves those because the same as you can sell it on a motorcycle, you can sell it on a boat, you can sell it on a side by side, you can put it in a truck. That speaker is actually universally fit anything that you want to put it on and will sound great in just about any application. And another great thing is that it's very sensitive. So, you don't need tons of power like they were stating earlier, where you don't need that power. With low power, you can still make really great sound.
Cool. Is there any other item that you'd like to bring up other than that main
Yeah.
one? I know that one's hot for sure.
And then from there, that's like I said, that's in our DB drive line. In our expert line, we do have our expert carbon fiber Neo mid driver with a built-in compression horn. Those are actually our top selling speakers. And for us at first, it was kind of hard to get into that high dollar speaker, but it's been received so well. We have guys over like at Insane Asylum that are doing great, competing in the motorcycle shows. They're some of the loudest bikes in the world right now with our product. And we work side by side and hand in hand with Scott Owens over at Insane Asylum, and he helps us. He told us that what we were missing in that section, and he helped us build the stuff that we needed to get where we needed to go with it.
That comment there really segues really well into my next question. And my next question is a little bit more brand. For those that may not have heard of DB Drive, want to learn more about DB Drive, talk to us a little bit about DB Drive's culture and how it's committed to something like Powersports.
Well, we started with the commitment that if we were going to do something, we're going to do it to the best that we could, keep it still within, the budget that people want to, put money into. A lot of these guys, they don't want to put $6,000-$7,000 into a UTV. They want something that they can kind of toss in there, and that's where we kind of came in, where we didn't have anything kind of specific for a particular UTV or side by side, but you can adapt them well to just about anything. We have different size clamps, we have sound bars, we have just a little bit of everything. All our products that have RGB, all our RGB product can be interlinked with the same module, make it work all together. You can basically get the best of all worlds, including our light bars that also work with the same RGB modules. So, I mean, basically you can grab DB's lineup, put it all together, and everything's going to work and work together.
That's amazing. I know that we're going to get into it about the detail about this lighting kit that you mentioned. So make sure you guys tune into that one-on-one session where we go deeper into the Powersport lineup for DB. Okay, now I got to take off your DB hat for 1 second. All right, I need to talk to Junior, the enthusiast, the veteran of the game. I'm a new guy. You know this question is, what do I need to know? What advice can you give me to push me over the edge and say, yeah, this is the year I'm going deep with Powersports?
Well, I always recommend when you're going to get into Powersports, get into something, like I said, first of all, that people can, your everyday guy can put into their UTV or side by side or even their boat, whatnot. So, grab a couple of those CDs, keep them around. You can never stock up too many of them. Throw in a bunch of those. Some of our Neo amplifiers that work well, very small chassis, provide crazy power for their chassis, and, keep them in stock. You'll never run out of applications for them. You can put them in just about anything.
Nice. So this is one of those products which you can pretty much back, like this is a mover shaker product because the application list is so long.
Correct. Yeah, we have retail stores that do a lot of our marine product into vehicles. They put them into just about anything. So that's the good thing about the versatility of our product. You can basically, the same as you can put it into a boat, you can put it into a car, you can put it into that side by side, whatever you need it for, it'll work for it.
Very, very cool. Hey, listen, thank you so much. If you guys are interested in DB Drive, if you're in the Canadian market, their distributor in Canada, of course, is Importel. Check them out. Otherwise, get a hold of Junior and his crew, and he'll point you in the right direction to get you some of that DB goodness. Thank you so much. Looking forward to our session together later this week, man.
Hey, thank you, Ben. Thank you for having us.
Take care, Junior. We got one more brand to go, and we are blessed tonight because we are being joined by none other than the president of said company. This company is arguably one of the oldest, I'm going to say in the record, maybe the oldest company in car audio that I know of, and please correct me if I'm wrong in the comments below. But I think this gentleman could definitely back that statement up. He's taken the time to come on with us tonight, representing, of course, Memphis Audio. We have their president, Mr. Nick LoMonaco. Come on in, Nick.
How you doing, Ben?
What's going on, sir? How are you?
Good. I'm in a hotel room after working a show today. So
I wouldn't even have known you're in a hotel room because I keep paying attention to them chains. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, nothing but gold, nothing but winning gold over here.
I had to save you at the end because I knew this was going to be fun. But was I right? Was I right in my statement? One of the oldest car audio companies in the industry?
Yeah. We started in audio in '65 with our current owner's dad. And we've been in aftermarket auto since 1919. We're making floor mats and seat covers. Or so we were making audio back then because it wasn't a thing in cars. But
no.
But we made stuff for cars since 1919.
You have to have a T-shirt like "Killing It Since -19," and everybody's gonna be like, "What 2019?" No, man, 1919.
1919.
All right, let's get this underway. We want to learn about Memphis and why you're here today, sitting at this table full of Powersport fanatics. Tell us what is new and exciting, because I have an inkling, a hunch here. There's some action going on in the Memphis camp when it comes to Powersports audio.
Well, we got a lot of new stuff. I mean, in the last few years, pretty much every year we have something new coming out. A lot of new stuff coming out, but probably the coolest stuff for us in Powersports right now would be our direct fit kit for Honda Talon. So we're one of the first to do a direct fit for the Talon. Sounds incredible. So very excited about that. In fact, it was so exciting that a container got broken into and they stole half of the in
really?
LA. So yeah.
That sucks.
So they were stolen before I even got to our warehouse. But very excited about that. And then probably the SKU that we're getting the most buzz on is our universal Powersports sub. It's Powersports / Marine. So it's a rotomolded sub enclosure that has an active 10 and 2 passive radiators. We've been showing that off from Knowledge Fest down here, trade shows, and people are blown away the output that it has.
I'm excited. We're going to do the first video interview kind of unveiling of this product a little bit later on. I believe it's on Monday.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure you tune in for that. We're going to go deep into that new product. Very exciting stuff. Very unique. I like it's innovative and it's innovation that's going to drive this category. No doubt about it. Is there anything else on the new side of things?
Yeah, we have a new head unit that's come out, and really what we try to do is, everybody here, we got great brands on the show. Everyone talks to their dealers. That's if you're not doing that, you wouldn't be on here because you wouldn't be doing it right. But what we like to do is we like to pack all the key features, not a lot of fluff, to get the price point where you need, but still get everything you want in a product line. So we don't have a million head units. So the ones we make, we want to get exactly what we need and nothing more, nothing less for the right price point. So our new head unit has everything you need, and at its price point, really no one competes with it. And very, very excited about that. Just launched this couple months ago. So.
Very, very cool. Some new exciting toys in the lineup. All right. Well, here's your chance, Mr. President. I want to hear the presidential statement on this. What do you feel makes Memphis unique? What key features or benefits or characteristics of your products do you want dealers to know about in this category?
Well, the first thing that I want everyone to know about is everyone at Memphis that has anything to do with product development, we're audio geeks. Like, we're all audio guys. We all have had aftermarket systems in our vehicles since we learned how to drive, and possibly before that. So everything's driven from the passion of the industry. So our engineer, our head of engineering, he cut his teeth in this industry installing speakers at a shop in down here. So that's the first thing, is there isn't anybody that's not just a guy that's designing stuff. And then secondly, we try to make things as bulletproof as possible. So like for our Powersports kits, for example, we don't have an enclosure that you screw a speaker into. Our enclosure is our direct OEM fit enclosures. They're injection molded, 2-piece injection molded plastic. The speaker is actually mounted from the backside of the front of the enclosure. So it's the most waterproof enclosure that exists on the market. We're designing it to be OEM. We're designing it to never break. It's not just an enclosure that, we tuned a good speaker, put it in. This speaker was tuned from the inside out, specifically for that application. And then we like to make things look good. We like to add LEDs all where we can. It's fun. We like to stand out. So that's probably what I would say sets us apart in the power sports world.
And no doubt there's been a recent, and we talked about this in previous shows, how there's been a new energy of design elements that have come into play with the Memphis product line. So speaking of that, obviously you found success within this category to be expanding and adding new products to it. What are some of the key or clutch SKUs that you have that dealers need to know about?
Well, probably the most clutch SKU in our lineup is a 6.5 inch bar mounted can. It's what we use for our rear speakers in our OEM kits. It's the MXA 62 PS. That is probably one of our best selling SKUs in general, not just in the power sports lineup, because it's, in my opinion, the best sounding 6.5 can that you can get. But especially at its price point, it sounds incredible. So, I mean, we got guys putting on Rikers, we got guys putting them on anything and everything, in addition to the quote unquote power sports with side by sides and UTVs. And then secondly, probably the easy go-to, especially for a dealer that's not like doing a ton of power sports, is our relatively new 9-inch sound bar. And I have it right here.
9-inch. That is a cute little guy.
Yeah, this thing. So right now I actually have it on an OEM fit for a Yamaha FX Wave Runner. So this bolts into a factory location. But if you see, these are, I mean, to quote it, a ram mount style mounting. So it's very, very versatile to mount the product. So you can bar mount it, you can surface mount it, and then obviously we have the accessory to OEM mount it on a Yamaha FX Wave Runner. This is an IPX7 speaker, so this can go 1 meter underwater for 30 minutes and still work. It's got two 3.5 inch mids, 2 tweeters. You can probably see with me getting the light in there. This thing is stupid loud for its size. Actually, this thing will keep up output wise with our 20-inch soundbar and virtually everybody else's 20-inch soundbar on the market. So for a little, it packs a punch.
That's like the pocket rocket, because you carry it with you into hotel rooms.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Awesome. That looks slick. Very cool. It's nice that you had in hand, because now it gives you a perspective of how actually compact that unit actually is.
Yeah, I didn't even have to put it at a weird angle to make it look bigger than 9 inches. You know,
imagine that.
Straight on.
Yeah, right. Okay, so what are some of the examples that you could think of right now off the top of your head that can demonstrate Memphis's commitment to this category?
Well, I think the commitment to the category, outside of I could show you the checkbook that we keep writing for all of our development and tooling for new product. That would be one. But you know, we every year we keep looking for new ways, and outside of OEM direct fit kits, which are awesome. You know, we're competing with some other guys that were on this call for OEM fit kits, try to make ours the easiest, the best sounding, all that stuff. But I think for us, it's trying to find the most innovative stuff. So we're doing stuff that no one else is doing. We're trying to do things like, we've got some more stuff down the pipeline that I've kind of mentioned to you that we'll be launching later in the year. We're trying to find the most innovative stuff. We're trying to change the game. And that I think that's the coolest thing from from a Memphis perspective, is we're not just coming out with something that everyone else is coming out with. We're trying to change the game with everything we come out with.
I like that. Especially spearheaded from someone with the mind of yourself, who likes to innovate and likes to stand out. Hence the chains. Right?
Yeah,
I get it.
Yeah, exactly.
Of course, I left you for the end because I'm going to give you the hardest job here. You've heard everybody else's answer, so now I'm going to challenge you to come up with one that we haven't heard yet, that might connect with a dealer, and you might make the difference to get a dealer on board with Powersports Marine, and maybe even better with Memphis. Taking off your Memphis hat, what advice do you have for a dealer that has not jumped into this game yet?
The advice I would have for a dealer that hasn't been in this game is go somewhere where there's power sports happening. So you might have customers walking in. Yeah, you can validate those customers. You can call one of your sales reps. You can call one of the brands that you carry. Hey, I got a so-and-so came in with XYZ machine. What do I do with it? And they will absolutely tell you. You can call our tech support. You can call our line. We'll tell you exactly what could work for any machine, even if we don't make a direct kit for it. But really, to understand this industry, you got to go see where they're at. And that could be anywhere where there's just guys on ATVs. That could be a rally where they're a bunch of side-by-sides. Even a motorcycle rally can connect. You can kind of just get the same vibe. It's a very similar vibe when you get groups of people with not traditional cars. So that would be my biggest advice is to a dealer that is seeing that business pick up, that is seeing customers come in asking for Powersports product. Just go, hey, where do you go ride? What have you been doing? What have you been doing lately? What if I hook this up with an amazing audio system? Where are you going to go with it? And then go where that is and see what. And I think that is the best way. I mean, even for me, the first time I went to a mud show down here, I had a whole new understanding of what we're doing, you know, I never would have got that. I just, oh yeah, they like to go get in the mud and get dirty, whatever. Yeah, you got to go. You got to experience it. You got to talk to these guys. You know, you got to hang out with them when they're 45 Bud Lights deep at night. And really understand why they do what they do and why they like what they like. And that'll really help you as a retailer to understand what you're trying to accomplish for their machines.
I got 2 comments for you. First of all, that's a brilliant answer. Second of all, it's no different from a chef. If you want to learn how to do sushi, man, go to Japan, taste some of the best sushi, understand why people love sushi, then come back and try to be a sushi chef. That's
Exactly.
Number 1. Number 2, how did we get into car audio? Man, we went to the sound offs, the parking lot shows. We talked to each other. We learned from each other. We listened to each other's systems. We're part of a lifestyle. You want to connect with these people in their lifestyle, you have to respect them. And respect them means understanding what that lifestyle is. So I totally agree with what you're saying there, Nick. 100%. Nice answer. Very nice. Dude, thanks for taking the time. Obviously, you're on the road and you've made the time, so I can't thank you enough. But for those listening in or dealers interested in Memphis product, if you're in Canada, check it out. Automobility, that's who you need to call. They are their Canadian distributor for actually quite some time now. It's not new anymore. But automob.ca is where you want to go. And of course, if you're in the stateside, well, get a hold of Nick and his team. I'm sure he's got reps or distributors. He can point you in the right direction. Thank you so much, Nick.
All right. Thanks, Ben.
Be safe on your trip. We'll talk to you soon.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right. Guys, that's it, man. Powersports Audio, that's pretty much a wrap. But before I let you go, I want to give a big shout out and thank you to all the brands that joined us tonight. Rockford, Fosgate, Kicker, MTX, DB, and of course, Memphis. But tomorrow is the big day because tomorrow we are kicking off the Powersports Sessions on CMA Networks. Starts tomorrow, goes right through till Tuesday, April 19th. All the brands that you see there are participating. Every single one of them we go one-on-one with on a session on an individual day. So make sure you tune in. Check out the entire schedule at cmanetworks.com. Speaking of cmanetworks.com, if you haven't had the chance, get on there, visit. We're very proud of it. We put a lot of work into it. Brand new interface. All your favorite trainers. You can search for your favorite videos, either by trainer, by brand, or even by category. You could watch our videos live there and check out the schedule for everything you need to know coming up. cmanetworks.com. That's it, guys. Thanks for tuning in. This has been CMA Live presented by SiriusXM. I'm your host, Ben Wu. I'll see you on the next one. Until next time, we connect.
I mean, yeah, let's talk about today where I'm going to go.
Roll it down.
I am.
You don't need a car to listen to SiriusXM. You can listen anywhere. You know that, right?
What? Kevin Hart's Laugh Out Loud Radio.
Kevin, you could use your phone.
What? What?
Alexa, play Kevin Hart's Laugh Out Loud Radio on SiriusXM.
What?
This is how I know you're getting old. I guess that was it.
What?